Hello and welcome. This is Digital Robin here. Welcome you along to another live walkthrough. And today, what a great day to be doing a live web stream with you here. It's April 23rd, 2020, and today is the day that is Ubuntu Day. Yeah, the Ubuntu flavors have gone live. Wherever you are in the world right now, you should be right now when you're logging on to ubuntu.com or any of the Ubuntu flavors there, now seeing the official release, the long-term support release of the Ubuntu flavors. Now, of course, earlier in the week, I've been testing pretty much all of the flavors. That's Ubuntu Studio, Libuntu, and I've seen some great improvements in Ubuntu, I must say, but we can touch on that in a later stream. Xubuntu, Ubuntu, and Ubuntu Budgie. Now, those are the 5 main distros that I have been testing myself this week. And I thought I'd try and do them in kind of my top 5 order. So, of those 5 distros that I've chosen this week to test, today, I thought I'd make a start with what is probably, no doubt, is in joint first place, really, with Ubuntu Budgie. So I'll touch a little bit more on Budgie in due course. But today, I'm going to share with you Xubuntu 2004. Now, Xubuntu, when I've been testing it this week, I've seen vast, and I mean vast, stability and the performance improvements in this latest build. And there's probably a lot of reasons behind that. One, because I'm testing it on slightly older hardware here. But 2, I think the Xubuntu team have actually done a fabulous job in getting this this long-term support release ready to be able to satisfy users for the next 2 years, which is basically what this is all about. So, new users to Ubuntu, just to explain, they do updates every 6 months or so now. They're doing it in 6-month cycles, but this one in particular is special because we have now hit the 2-year milestone. So every 2 years, the Ubuntu team release a long-term support release. And this is 2004, and it's called Vocal Fossa. Now on the screen right now, you can see that I'm sharing with you my current desktop setup, how I've left it when I've been playing around. This is not how it looks out of the box, but what do you think on first impressions? Yeah, it looks quite Mac-y, doesn't it? Mac OS-y. Can I call it Mac-y? I suppose I can in a way. Yeah, so... But anyhow, yeah, so this is just really me getting it to look like this after just a few hours play. And you too can also get your installation of Xubuntu to look exactly like this. So, before we begin, just want to say this is a live stream, and for those watching on demand, of course, unfortunately, you won't be able to join in with live chat, but you can obviously reach me via my website at digitalrobin.net. You can tweet me at RobinJust, and of course, you can find me on the Big Daddy Linux community groups as well. And yeah, so do by all means get in touch, and I'll try to do the best I can to answer any questions that you might have, or certainly put you in touch with some people that might be able to help you a little bit further. Yeah, so yeah, if you're obviously part of the live stream here, then do by all means have a little chat with us here, and yeah, we'll get started, shall we? So this is Xubuntu 2004. And just to say that I haven't got this actually installed on actual hardware today. I'm doing this via a virtual machine, mostly because I want to do this live stream here. Plus, I don't have the kit yet to be able to do any live capture from an actual hardware device. So we will be getting that sorted in due course. But for now, I'm going to be testing this inside VirtualBox. So for the Windows users out there that are thinking of moving across to Xubuntu, or Ubuntu, any of those Linux flavors, then you can download VirtualBox or any kind of virtual machine basically for free. Download the ISO file from the Ubuntu website and yeah, get going from there. And of course, I'm not going to show you how to do that step by step, but you'll see me actually start up the VM shortly for you, and then we're going to do a live install, and we're going to see how long this actually takes here. So I'm not installing this on actual hardware, you're looking at this in a virtual machine here today. So a couple of things to point out. So we are seeing a live kernel release, so we are running kernel 5.4 now in this release here, and it's running the XFCE desktop and running, of course, the XF window manager. And you can see from the screen here that I've installed my own theming, and obviously we're running at the moment. I've given this virtual machine 4 GB memory, and because I'm doing a live record at the moment and you're looking at this inside a virtual machine, I'm currently running just over 1.5 GB of RAM at this present moment in time. So let's give this a go now. So shall we just do a quick live install, and I'll show you how you can do your theming to get it to look just like this. So just to point out a few things that I'm going to install. I'm going to obviously install new backdrops, wallpapers. I'm going to install some theming to make it look great like this, because if you click in these windows you can see I've got the sort of Mac style icons here. The toolbar at the top is running very Mac-esque, and you can see also we've got some additional widgets as well, which I have installed as well, which come pre-installed out of the box. So without further ado, let's give this a go. So at the moment I'm running a live USB key, so we're just going to close the terminal down here, and we're just now going to start going through the installation process. So now, having given this application, this distribution a try, I'm now going for a live install. And we start now with the welcome screen. So first of all, you select your language. I think I'm English. Bonsoir. And yep, select your country and your language. So again, English UK. And this is for your keyboard, by the way. Next, we're going to just do a quick check to see if there are any updates available while it's doing its installation. I'm not going to install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi, primarily because I'm running a virtual machine, so there's no real need to run any checks on additional hardware or download any NVIDIA or AMD graphics drivers. So I'm just going to leave that deselected at this stage. But when you do your own installation onto actual hardware, if you are doing it outside a virtual machine, then I would strongly suggest you tick this box here, because then what that will do is it will go and check to see if there's any proprietary software out there that the install requires. And proprietary meaning, of course, applications that will need a certain driver, and mostly the hardware as well. So for graphics, you're going to require your NVIDIA drivers, or NVIDIA as most people call it, and yeah, so that will also go and do a check for those and download and install them during this process. So I'm just going to check for updates whilst installing the distribution. So we click continue. We've got a failure here, which I've not seen before, but we'll continue anyway. That won't be visible on the live install, so we'll do London. So it's just a case of, if it hasn't already selected your location, it's just a case of clicking where you are. I'm based in the UK, Greenwich Mean Time, so I've chosen obviously London as default. And it's now that you enter in your account details. So in my case, I am going to call myself Robin. And you can see here, because the computer knows that the computer name is called VirtualBox, is that it's given my computer a name of my name and the name of the machine. But in this case, you can call it what you like. So I'm just going to call it actually Xubuntu. I know the name already exists because I've already installed this computer on I've already installed this distribution on multiple machines within my same home network. So my username, as by default, it's going to choose a username, which is obviously the name that you have selected here. We're going to then enter a password. And this, by the way, will set you up as an administrator on the system, but you can, of course, at a later date create a new account where you can set it up as a standard user. So I'm not going to ask it to log in automatically, but obviously require a password on login each time. So continue. And now we just wait for the installation to complete. So whilst that's going on, I just want to say hello to Brian over there in the chat. Hello Brian, thank you for joining the live stream today. Hope you're well. Now the install process can take a little time depending on what kind of hardware you've got installed. It could just be on older machines with spinning hard drives that this could take anything up to half an hour to 45 minutes to install. In my case here, I am running I'm installing this virtually onto an 18 gigabyte virtual machine, and because I'm running it on fairly newish hardware with an SSD, it should take about 6 or 7 minutes, I think, to install. So we'll just wait and see what happens there. Now, whilst it's pointing out, whilst this is doing the installation process, is that the one thing I like about Linux what do I like about Linux is a good question that I get asked quite a lot. One of the things I really like to say to people when they ask me that question is security and stability. Because at the moment, Windows 10 for me is an absolute nightmare. All of the updates that come through every 6 months or so, the minor patches they send out every month, something always breaks or slows down on my home desktop here. And with Linux, I'm kind of in control. So when they do release an update, in situations with the distributions or the operating systems themselves, they only update every 6 months or so. And then the patches that come along every week or so generally are updates to the Linux kernel or a few drivers, for example, or even some software as well. So Linux is obviously open source, which means that pretty much all the software that's available to you is free, and that's something that I also like about Linux. We can also look at some alternatives to some of the software that you actually use on your Windows desktops as paid software. So if you think about the Adobe cloud applications such as Photoshop, Audition, and Premiere Pro, what's the other one? Acrobat. There are free and open source alternatives that you can get to also do the same job. So if I'm just, for example, editing basic audio, I would just use Audacity. If I was going to do basic image editing, I would use GIMP or Glimpse, as it is in nowadays. If I was going to build a PDF document, I would use LibreOffice's writer program, for example, and just save it back out as a PDF. So simple, so easy to do. It's only really when it comes to, kind of more creative products that I turn towards the Adobe suites. Particularly I use Adobe in my office job as well. I don't do any coding, so I don't need to use Dreamweaver, but even if I did need to do any coding, I would just free and open sourcely use Visual Studio Code on this Linux build here. If I was going to need to edit a video, I don't need Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. I could do the basic video edits in Kdenlive or Olive or is it DaVinci Resolve? I can't remember what it's called now. Yeah, any one of those, totally free. You can download and do that. So yeah, that's another good thing about it. And most of the work that I do in my day job is in the cloud, so it's mostly browser based. So long as my machine here is secure and I've got nothing that's that anybody can get their hands on, it's fine. I could just do it in the browser. Speaking of browsers as well, how do you browse the internet? Are you a Chrome user? I'm sure you are. Chrome still dominates the browser market, but Microsoft's new Edge is closely following behind. I use Edge on Windows, and I must say it's a vast improvement. And Edge has become my primary browser on my Windows machine, mostly because it's Chromium based. So all of what I do in Chrome normally, I can do inside Edge. I can download extensions. I can create collections now, so I can build a collection of pages together and group them all together in a collection. What else can I do? Bookmarks as well, they sync, so if I go to another device with Edge on it, sign in as me, and there it is. I can see all of my bookmarks, my theming, everything is just there, how I like it. Yeah, so in terms of Linux, you can download pretty much all of the primary browsers out there. So you've got Vivaldi, Opera, Conqueror, the Firefox. Edge you haven't yet got on Linux, but Microsoft are building it. It is coming. It is Chromium based. So they will be, in fact they probably are still building out the Linux version of this. But yeah, so when will it come? I don't know. Nobody has really said yet. What else? I listen to internet radio as well, so you don't need to listen via a browser. You can download an application that's free and open source that also allows you to listen to thousands and thousands of radio stations. What else do I generally do on Linux? Well, I print, obviously, and in some of the testing experiences I've had with some distributions, it's not quite as easy to install drivers for my HP printer in Arch browser, in Arch distributions, especially if I'm using vanilla Arch. But if I use Manjaro, no problems at all. Straight out of the box, fire up my printer, and there it is on my screen. Install new printer. It's done, and we will see that shortly. Just checking my printer's actually on in the corner there. Yes, it is. So when this is done, we'll run the installation, and that'll be the first thing I check for. In fact, we are nearly there, I believe. If you are looking at this installation screen right now and you're thinking, it looks as if it's got stuck, you can actually click on this arrow icon here, and you can open out a terminal view to see what's going on in the back end. So right now it's going to check on the LTS. It's going to find the nearest network time server to me, and it's just making sure that everything is in sync with that. I'm hopeful it hasn't got stuck, but is it? Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's been stuck on this screen for the last 7 minutes or so. But I've got mouse movement, there's still a cursor going around. If it hasn't moved on in the next minute or so, then I will terminate this install and start again. The beauty of live TV. we will get there. I'm just going to have a look at the terminal and see if I can do a htop. Nope, I'll just quickly do that. Htop is a small... Oh, it's moving on. It's funny that. Did you spot that? Looking at the processes, there's not much going on at the moment. So just like Windows, you actually do have a processes view, which you can see in a terminal app called htop. Now in most distributions that comes pre-installed, but in this case here I've had to install it myself. Now believe me when I say this, it doesn't normally take this long for me to install this application onto actual hardware. It might also be because I'm installing this on release day, that when it's going off to the servers to get the updates, because remember I ticked that box, didn't I, to check for updates, that it's taking some time to check for those updates and download them. Because now we've moved away from checking the time in the processes that are running, and we are now waiting for a package kit to launch. Also spotting here that the time, it's the date timestamp, is an hour behind us at the moment, so whatever server they're on is still stuck in Greenwich Mean Time. And the good thing about Linux as well is that there are thousands of servers across the globe, and they're all called mirrors. So basically, all of the files that you see on any of the Linux servers that are the copies of the same file, it's basically just pushed out to servers across the globe. So you choose your local mirror. So in my case, I can choose a server based here in Kent, and it's only at the university just up the road from me. But you know, if I can connect to that, then I just download quite fast. Now this is probably best when you come around to doing your install to ask it not to check for updates, and then just do a sudo apt update command in the terminal and do an update that way. But it was interesting to see that that actually moved on while we was doing this. Is the hour due to us being on BST now when the clocks went ahead? Yes, probably, Brian. It probably is. So incidentally, you can get this distribution. Currently at the moment, I've still got the daily build ISO which I'm running here, but this daily build ISO hasn't been updated in the last few days, so I'm confident that I have the actual full release of this now. If you logged on to this tomorrow, this website here at xubuntu.org, then you should be seeing this website looking totally different to how it's looking now, and it will have the 2004 details at the top there to download. Because currently right now, if I click on download, I'm going to get taken to the the 1804 LTS release. And it's worth pointing out that with Xubuntu and Lubuntu, if you have slightly older hardware or a laptop that's feeling a little bit sluggish, I would, before you take it down to the dump or to get it recycled, and you want to give it a final lease of life, try downloading Xubuntu or Lubuntu and install that first. Believe me, you will see a vast improvement straight away. Because Windows is just too bloated now. It really is. Okay, so we've moved on. It says successful now, so something else is happening. Yeah, I'm definitely still convinced this has got something to do with the fact that I'm trying to do all of this on release day. It's never this slow. Well, at this point I would say let's go make a cup of tea. When was the last update? 3 minutes ago. Okay. Maybe if I try and do a few things, it might actually kick it a bit. Yeah, see? I'm wondering if the virtual machine is seeing me as idle and it's not doing anything. But now I'm trying to tell it to do something. It's moved on. Anyway, let's just do a quick check here. So, yeah, so if you're new to Linux, if you are... I don't know, is anybody on the channel right now, do you own a Raspberry Pi? Because if you do, then you're kind of already getting familiar with Linux. And there's a lot of things you can do with your Pis that you can pretty much do in Linux as well. I'm just going to check the date to make sure that we're in sync. So Xubuntu's telling me at the moment it is Thursday 23rd of April and it is 22:13. Yep. British summertime in 2020. If I do a cow, let's look at the calendar. There's our calendar. What is this install doing? What is it doing? It may have been quicker if I did a simple apt update. In fact, no, I'm going to do an app. I'm going to check for packages first of all. Nope. Sudo apt update. This is the quicker way of doing it, by the way. Right, it says we're all up to date. So, with any luck, we should see this window disappear momentarily now. It might even be that the Xubuntu team are having a few issues at the moment releasing the full release. But you can see from my terminal here, it has gone to check for updates against the focal release. That's good. I'm just going to carry on doing a few more things. So incidentally, the details that you saw on screen with the RAM usage and what desktop I'm running, what version of the kernel I'm on, that is using NeoFetch, which looks like this. I've just downloaded ScreenFetch, so they are very similar but not the same application. So let's see how different that looks. Yeah, you see? Same details, but the only thing I can see looking different here is I've got the different looking Ubuntu logo. And now it's saying I'm running 2.2, nearly 2.3 gigs of RAM. That's because the install's still running at the moment, which seems to have moved on now. So we are now getting a few more items appearing in our terminal list here. Oh really, Brian? So you are a first generation user of the Raspberry Pi, are you? Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a Raspberry Pi 4, but by the time I think about actually getting around to buying one, there might actually be a Raspberry Pi 5 out. But then I start thinking to myself, what am I going to do with it? Well, there's an awful lot you can do with those things. But I've got to try and think of some projects before I even think about investing in one of those. Come on, install. I did say it could take up to half an hour. Yeah, you've not switched it on for ages. Yeah, you probably don't want to right now, Brian. I would say probably bin it and get the Pi 4. Have you tried installing Ubuntu Mate on there, or are you using Raspbian? Yeah, that's correct. Raspbian. That's the thing with live chat, there's at least 30 seconds between you and the person writing in chat. This really is slow. Hi John, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Oh yes, you've installed the Ubuntu 2004. Isn't it great? They've done a fantastic job with this release, they really have. They've polished it up beautifully with the GNOME 3.36. We have been running this install now for near 27 minutes. Yeah. I did say at the start of the stream it could take up to half an hour. John was just saying that it took him 25 minutes to install Ubuntu. But, you know, with the releases they have every 6 months or so, they tend to be a lot quicker because it's just an add-on. These long-term support releases always are massive. So how you finding it, John? Was it a clean install or was it an upgrade for you? Did you come from 1910 to 2004? How was the experience for you? Ah, looks like I could be here till midnight at this rate. Again, I'm just going to kickstart it into thinking I'm doing something. Of course it is, I installed it earlier on, didn't I? Snaps are already installed. It's interesting to just watch the commands change in the terminal on the installation window just as I'm doing stuff in this terminal here. Oh John, so you came from elementary, did you? Beautiful. I love elementary. Might as well go and make a cup of coffee, guys. We could be here for some time yet. Well, I honestly do not know what's going on here. So John's just saying in the chat that what he finds he likes best about Ubuntu is that the snaps, irrespective of some hatred out there, is darn good, and I will agree. I just can't see the argument really over snaps versus Flatpak. App images as well. Snap's never been an issue for me, but I can understand where people are going in terms of the install size. So for example, if I downloaded Spotify using Snap, I've noticed the install is a lot smaller and faster. And if I install it via Flatpak, then I find that I've got an older version of Spotify, and the install seems a lot larger. But with Ubuntu, they've moved over now to Snap, so they have kind of removed their software center in a way and now introduced an Ubuntu store, which basically installs applications using Snap. That's not stopping you though still going to FlatHub and actually installing applications from there. You can do that yourself still without any issues whatsoever. I'm really getting concerned about this install now. Let's refresh their website and see if there's anything new being announced yet. Nope. Oh. Oh, yep, 2004 has appeared on the site now. Here we go. Yep, so they've updated. So they've officially now released the 2004 release, so you can go and get that now from Xubuntu.org. And in fact, I may just get a fresh install of this. Yeah, can I kill this now? Do I want to quit the installation? Yeah, it's crashed. I'm sure it's... Oh, it says it's complete. Are you telling me that that window disappeared behind the other window and now we've been installed all this time? Ah. Well, let's give it a try, shall we? I'll just do a full system restart on this one here. So the screen will go blank for you guys momentarily. Hey Adam, how are you? Didn't mean to spam you, by the way. Just thought you want to come and watch us. I'm on the Big Daddy live stream in Discord if you want to come and join us in voice. Well, let's press enter. You can't... You're all about spam, yeah. Spam, 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 spam.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing alright.
Welcome to the stream. We are live.
Good times, good times.
How's things?
So Xubuntu?
Xubuntu, well, we're trying. We're trying.
What machine is this being installed on?
I'm just doing it in the VM at the moment.
Oh, okay. So have you already done the install, or?
Well, it says we installed, but I think it's crashed. So I'm just going to try and see what's going on here. I'm going to shut this machine down and try again.
I was about to say it didn't look very...
No, it didn't look very healthy, did it?
No.
I think I may need to download a fresh install here.
Do you think the ISO was bad? Or?
I think I had a bad ISO, yeah. But saying that, I've been waiting for the website to refresh all day. It's only really just refreshed in the last 10 minutes. So I'm wondering if I had a bad ISO. So I'm just going...
Oh yeah, I guess today was the release, right?
Yeah. I'm just going to try a new... Sorry guys watching in, and you can see just a blank screen at this moment. Your demo of Pop the other night was fantastic.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So I see some people in my chats today asking about Pop OS and when it's going to come out. And like, well, in all honesty, it never comes out on Ubuntu's release date. I mean, they did that with 1910. They released, I think, their 1910 in about, well, literally just under 24 hours after, I think.
Yeah. I'd be very surprised if it was ready within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They're still doing a lot of work on Pop Shell. I mean, you get updates almost daily for the Pop Shell stuff.
I was going to say, because I couldn't get Pop Shell to work from the Git when I tried it in
2004.
Yeah, when I did, I was trying to get it to work in the GNOME shell on Endeavour, and I got the tiling to work, but I couldn't get the GNOME shell to work.
Yeah, it's still they're very much prioritizing working on their stuff first, and then it's kind of like we'll figure it out on a vanilla install later.
Yep. Okay, so they've just put up a page on their site now. Direct downloads now available. Torrent. Don't want a torrent. I'm just going to go to the UK servers. See what's there. Focal Fossa. Yep, here we go. It's 1.5 gigs. Oh, that's smaller. So I must have had a different one. Yep, I've clicked the ISO. Are you downloading? Yep.
I didn't realize how thirsty I was. I got like a solo cup of water and like just downed the whole thing really fast.
Ooh.
I was like, man, I was more thirsty than I thought I was.
John in the chat thinks there might be something wrong with the bootloader. That's why it didn't work.
Oh, maybe it didn't install properly?
Yeah, maybe. It did get stuck for quite some time.
That's not good. What software are you using to install it? VirtualBox?
Yeah, just installed it normally. Through the normal install.
No, I mean, what VM software are you using?
Oh, got VirtualBox. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Xubuntu loves VirtualBox, but VirtualBox doesn't like many of the other distros I've tried.
I have not had good luck with VirtualBox in a long time. I switched over to VMware.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've moved over to QEMU, and I have no issues
Yeah, on
there.
Linux I definitely use that, yeah. And on the Mac OS I use VMware Fusion.
Yeah. That's a one-time payment, isn't it? I think you pay about $70 or something. That's it, you got it for
something like that, yeah. I was evaluating VMware Fusion and Parallels, and I found VMware Fusion to be a little more Linux friendly than Parallels. Parallels is great, but Parallels required like its own like extras to really work well.
Yeah. And
it didn't always install properly on like it installed on like Ubuntu and simple like kind of mainstream stuff, but even stuff like Fedora and OpenSUSE it struggled with. That's what it is, but VMware, the OpenVM tools is on pretty much every distro, so it just integrates really well.
What do you reckon is in the ISOs that causes VirtualBox to, I don't know, maybe use more resources?
I think it's just VirtualBox, if I want to be honest. I mean, especially ever since the 6.0 release, it's just been slow and...
Do you know what? I never had any issues when they were in the 5s.
Yeah, neither did I. When they hit 6, it just became kind of a mess.
All right, so I'm just setting up a new VM now. I can't believe they still have floppy in their boot orders. Who uses floppy?
Well, I mean, you might want to run Windows 3.1, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Or like MS-DOS or something. load up some OS2 warp. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's going back, Adam. That's going back a bit.
Yeah.
Right. So now 1.2236. Yeah. They've actually. Yeah. Now the ISO I had originally must have been an older one because it was labelled up differently. This one's now got Xubuntu in the 2004 file name. Okay, we'll be back on this full screen momentarily. Yay! You should be seeing something on your screens now.
Yep.
Yep, it must be a fresh ISO. Yeah, I think I did have. I must. Yeah, I think I did have
Go ahead.
I think I did have a daily build, John.
So I'm actually speaking to you on my iPad Pro.
Really clear. You got a headset on?
Yes, this is my headset, yeah.
Fantastic.
And I got the new keyboard today.
Oh, what, the one on the stand? Or is
Yeah,
it?
the Magic keyboard.
Wow, what's it
It's
like?
so good, man.
What's it like?
It's so good. Like the keyboard it's very similar, maybe a little more firm than like my iMac keyboard, than the Magic keyboard on my iMac. The trackpad, while smaller than a normal Apple trackpad, is still like smooth. You can click anywhere on the pad. All the gestures work. The hinge is really, really sturdy. And it charges through. They have like an extra USB-C port on the keyboard, so you can charge it while still having something else plugged into it.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's great. It charges through the smart connector on the back of the iPad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So I got
And
my
the keyboard's backlit.
This is my iPad Pro 1, the original 9.7 one, and it's still going for 5 years later, actually. Is it? When was it? No, I'm sure I got this. I got it when it first came out, 2016. Yes, it's 4 years old.
That's the like origami folding thing.
Yeah. Right, so you guys can see me now doing an actual proper live install. I've told it not to download updates, so I'm going to do that separately.
I'm sure it'll listen.
Better do. I got a nice package from Zeb today. Lots of goodies from his trip to America last year.
Yeah, I got to meet him when he came here.
Yeah. Southeast Linux Fest.
Yep.
That's not happening this year.
No, I was looking forward to it too. I was gonna go it's over a weekend, and I was gonna go for all 30 days, but
I think I'm guessing that the trip was paid for through donations. I would have thought.
yeah, the community, like everybody donated a little bit, and we got him over here. But it was awesome to meet him. He's a lot taller than I thought he was.
He is. I met him once for lunch. It was a great lunch break, and I'll tell you what, I could have done a lot more if we didn't have to go back to our office jobs. But he's much. I had to look up.
Yeah, I was like,
how tall he was.
how's the weather up there? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean,
But he's such a jolly guy.
oh, he is. He's fabulous. Yeah, we was gonna have a joint lunch with Popey as well, but we never got that arranged before Christmas.
Yeah, I went out to lunch with. It was me, Rocco, Zeb, Ryan, Michael, and Vanessa.
That was quite a trip getting Rocco down as well, wasn't it? Because he doesn't fly.
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah. That was the first time he ever had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great. I'm really glad I went to, got to meet everybody there.
Ubiquity, the installer to rule them all. Certainly is, John. Well, my stream's holding up tonight, which is good. It's not breaking up.
Not yet.
Yeah. This is my second live, and I just wanted to give people the experience to see what it's like actually doing a fresh install and doing it from scratch.
I usually do my videos and reviews and stuff from hardware, so it's kind of hard to capture the install part.
I've got to get a capture card for this, yeah.
Part is it on? I can't. It's kind of small on mine.
I would try to increase the size if I could.
Oh, got it.
Doing downloads.
Man, they got the community down pat in that slide.
It is.
We got a lot of the sunglasses, sideways hat people in the community. He's rad, man.
I even got creative yesterday and created these little badges.
Those are awesome.
Just card. I didn't cut it out with a pair of scissors. We've got a nice cutting machine here that does it for us. Yay, we're actually getting somewhere now. See, guys, this is how fast the install should be.
I take it was not that fast earlier?
Nope. It was a good 35 minutes.
Oh boy. What time is it over there?
We're just gone 11:15 in the evening here. What are you?
Yeah, I was thinking seems a little early to stream, and then I'm like, oh wait, time zones.
The time zones, yeah. Was it 6:15 for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought now would be a good time to sort of do the stream, or somewhere around midnight, and you guys will be awake.
Are you normally awake that late?
Yeah, I normally hit the sack around 2.
Man.
What do you expect when you got lots of tech around you?
That's true. I usually most of the time when I was working at the office, I go to sleep at anywhere between 9 and 11. Usually around 10. I'd lay down and fall asleep pretty fast. But now, like that I'm working at home, it's difficult because some days I'll stay up later than I think, and I'm like, it's okay, I can just get out of bed. But I'll be honest, man, I had an hour commute in the morning, and I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Because it was a nice way of like waking up, thinking about the day, thinking about what I have to do, getting ready, listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good amount of that, and like now I could do that if I wake up early enough, but I keep finding myself like I have to clock in at 7, and like I'm waking up at 7, like, like that kind of thing. So it's like, man, I'm just like getting out of bed, like, and just grabbing my phone, scrolling to the app I gotta punch in on, and like getting out of bed. Like,
I just like the fact that I can get out of bed, and with like 10 minutes to go before I have to be on a team call or something, or a webinar, then I can just dive out of bed, come downstairs, make a coffee, and oh look, here's my office.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's nice.
My commute is from the upstairs just down, and oh, I'm at work.
Yeah. I mean, the afternoons is the big one for me, because like it would take me about 45 minutes to get home, and that was because I left before all the rush hour stuff.
Yeah, if you start early, you can leave early.
Like, oh man, it was because I had to arrive early, so I left early, and man, not having to deal with that was nice, because like Fridays especially, because during the week it wasn't too bad, but on Friday, even leaving when I did, like it was still a good like hour 15 minutes to get home.
Yeah. And
like I'm just like, I just want to start my weekend. But now it's like, oh, it's 3 o'clock, boop, I'm gone.
Like, it is Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Yes,
it is. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was going to say, do you think since we've been in lockdown that the days are going quicker and you're psychologically not aware of what day of the week it is?
Yeah, easily.
It's like the weekend comes and I still go about my normal day-to-day business, and the only thing I really can't do is go and do my full week shop as I would normally do, and I have to queue up outside the supermarket for like 45 minutes as they do one in, one out. But yeah, I mean it just feels weird. It really does. The Monday comes around and you're just like, what day is it? You just feel like it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. Like all of your previous knowledge of time just seems to just go away. Yeah, and it's largely because everyone's routine has been kind of thrown off, right?
Yeah.
Like even people who are used to working from home, like they're used to being able to go out or do things and that they need to throughout the week, but now they can't. And
yeah. It's not just that as well. It's just if you're used to working from home, you're not really used to having your family around you, especially
that too. Yeah,
with schools out and stuff. It's just like you're all in the house at the same time. Still, the weather's been good for us here. Got some nice sunny days.
We've had a mix. Like a week or so ago, we had some tornadoes and stuff.
Any damage? Any damage?
Not to my place, no, but to other places, yeah.
Ugh.
And then we had like a nice week of clear weather, nice cool breezes and stuff. I went ahead and did the yard work when that happened, and then I woke up today and it's like, oh, it's storming again. Like, and again, like because like the days just get away from you. I don't even know like what the upcoming weather is and stuff, because it would be that I would wake up in the morning and like on in the process of getting dressed and everything from work, I would ask the Google Assistant or whatever, like, hey, what's the weather today and stuff like that. I just don't do that anymore because I barely roll out of bed in time for work.
Or when's your next train? When's the next bus?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, how what's the traffic like today?
Yeah.
I don't even think about that. At most, there's a cat in the way. Good old Mickey. So I gotta say, man, this new keyboard just it changes it. It changes it big time.
What's the travel like? I don't know. Is it like? Does it feel like a MacBook?
Yeah, it does. It feels kind of like the old MacBook Pros, like the 2015, 2014-ish MacBook Pros.
They've got good travel. I mean, I've got a 2015 model
Yeah,
here.
it's not really shallow.
No.
It's got some travel. And the trackpad it's not a force touch trackpad like you find on the MacBooks or on the Magic trackpad. It actually has a click, but the way the mechanism is built, you can click anywhere on the pad. You don't have to
so
just click at the bottom.
you do this sort of scrolling thing with your fingers, and then you actually double tap or whatever with your fingers, do you?
For the trackpad?
Yeah, or has it actually got physical buttons?
No, it is one like big physical button that can be clicked anywhere.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
And so, like, it does. You can click at the top right, top left, in the middle, and the bottom, however you want to click.
Yeah. Yay, we're in.
All right, progress.
Hey, now we've got a software update.
Of course.
Yeah, only minor.
What technology would be complete without more software updates? You know, I got really upset about this, probably more than I should have. But I went to watch something on my TV and I turned it on, and it's like, hey, we have a software update. I'm like, I just want to watch the TV, and like, you have to update the software.
Are you
like,
one of these people that turns everything off at night, or do you leave your boxes on to do their nightly updates?
They're supposed to stay on, but my TV doesn't. Like it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't stay on for whatever reason. It drives me nuts. And
Yeah,
so I had like a software update, and I'm just like, man, it's just a TV, but it's an Android TV, so.
Oh, okay.
You know, got its own thing.
We had an issue with our set-top box for the last couple of weeks, where in the evening when it turns itself off and goes and checks for updates, it does it at like 2 or 3 in the morning. We'd go to boot it up the next day, and although the box boots up and you've got the interface and everything, you just get a blank screen and with no sound, no video. And you go into your recordings, try and play a recording. The recording looks like it's playing, but there's no video or sound. So I rang the engineers up today and I said, look, I don't think the box itself is faulty. There's something in one of the recent updates that you've pushed that might have possibly caused the driver to kick out or something. I don't know, but they said, oh yeah, you can either do one of two things. You can either wipe the disk and start again as a factory reset. I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, there's no physical evidence on this box to suggest I need to do that. Or you reset your box. I said, yeah, that's what I've been doing every single bloody day. And I just keep on losing all of my scheduled recordings. So I have then, once it's done an update, have to then go and actually reschedule the day's recordings again. It's like, anyway, but the hard drive is fine. The recordings are there. We can still access it. But they claimed, as I was on the phone to them, that they pushed something to the box. They said, oh, we checked for the latest software. You are running the latest software, but I think in the back end, they told me today that I was out of contract. So I think in the back end, they kind of created a fault on the box to make me ring them. That's what I think, anyway. Unlike
That'd
Ubuntu,
be about right.
I like Ubuntu here. Right,
Yeah.
so we are now up to date. So let's give this a whirl, shall we? Control-Alt-T. And I'll just increase the screen. You still got me okay, everyone? I see I'm still here. Yep, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna go and
And
check.
there's something tricky about those stars in the background watching on the stream. Like, because of like the compression of the video, like they kind of shimmer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not an animated wallpaper. Like, what's it doing?
Is it twinkling then?
It kind of looks like, if you're not looking at them, like if you look away from them and they're still in your periphery, yeah, they kind of look like they're moving, like they're shimmering. But I think it's just the compression of the video.
Am I coming through to you at 1080?
Probably. I don't know. Oh, That's a good question.
Brian, who's in my chat, is
I'm at
watching
480p.
this.
Okay.
You're in 4. Yeah. No, put me on 1080. Brian is in my chat. He's a first timer noob. So he's watching me install this. Right. So we know we've now got a.
Oh wow, that's way better.
That is good, isn't it? Yes. I'm in super high def now for you.
So there's actually lines on those stars.
Oh yes. Did you not see that before?
That was the shimmering like compression artifacts at 480p for you.
Excellent.
It's
right.
the magic of Ubuntu.
The magic of Ubuntu, yeah. I mean, I must admit, at least they've bothered to actually do something with the wallpaper this year. The previous releases, they've just kind of left it at the standard XFCE desktop. It's just like, bleh. Anyway, I'm liking this. It's good. And I'm just going to test the tiling. So if I drag it down here in the bottom left, yeah, see, it wants to go. Why is it I can do a top left and a top right, but I can't do I can do a bottom right. No, it's about finding the corners. You've got to find the right corners. You've actually got to drag it right down to the corner, which is very strange. Okay, fine. Right, let's install NeoFetch. It's always the first thing I do. Notice how I haven't gone to the software center yet. I don't know what it is. It's always the last thing I do is go to the software center. I think they've done a sterling job with this release. They really have on all of the flavors. There you go, look at that. 506 megabytes and I'm not even doing anything. So kernel 5.4. We've got 1500 packages installed. That's a lot. I bet most of them are snaps. And we've got the standard Greybird theme with elementary icons. Right. We'll get that updated straight away. So we're going into appearance. Greybird. Who loves dark mode? Any votes for dark mode? Yeah.
Do they have one?
Greybird Dark.
Oh snap.
It's coming your way now. And I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago. I saw it as a bug, but obviously the theme guys at Ubuntu don't see it as a bug. But you can see that the toolbar, even though I've told it to go grey, dark and use dark, it hasn't given me what I would class as a dark mode, full dark mode in this Greybird theme. And I can prove it. I go into the window manager. We're on Greybird, see? We are Greybird Dark as an appearance, but we're in Greybird as the window. So if you select Greybird Dark, now it looks how I feel it should look.
Yeah, that does make a difference.
It does make a huge difference. Really does. So, what do we got?
I miss the old blue curve themes.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I've got I pulled some old discs out the other day. I tried to run 15. Yeah, I tried to run 1504 in a VM. And, ooh, it didn't like it. And then I tried to run 1604. It didn't like it. Then I ran 1610, and it liked that one, which is quite surprising because 1604 was like the last of the last LTSs, which I would have thought they would have supported. But then 1804 really is the last that it accepted. But hey, so I mean, all these discs that I've got now here, what do? Do I bin them? Do they still work? Literally, what do I do with them?
The oldest disc that I still have was a disc that I burned a long time ago, a Fedora Core 3.
How many years back is that?
That would have been probably 2006, maybe?
Crikey.
Yeah.
So what do we suggest we look at? Alright, let's fire up the software center, shall we?
I don't know what comes on Xubuntu.
Let's go shopping.
What are some of the new features of Xubuntu? If such things exist.
They do, but I think it's more back-end than anything else. Because apart from the Greybird Dark theme, at the moment, apart from a different wallpaper, I'm not noticing anything different on first install.
Did they use the GNOME Software Center before? Or I guess it's Ubuntu software.
Ubuntu
yeah.
software, yeah. So this now looks like we're in GNOME. So this is just software running 3.36, so I'm guessing that's GNOME's. Where are we? Everyone loves a bit of Minecraft. Here. Right, oh. That's annoying. Stop sticking these adverts at the top of the center. That's really annoying.
Oh, the mind test thing?
Yeah. So I'm trying to click up here, and it keeps thinking I'm clicking into mind test. All I want to do is bring up the search bar.
So actually, you don't even need to click the search, the magnifying glass. You can just start typing.
Ah, I'm glad you said that, because that's rather annoying that I have to keep coming to the top left to do that. Oh, now before I do that, now let's just point out source-wise, it says Ubuntu, but it's a Snap.
Correct, yeah.
And why does it give me the option to choose one of these? They both look the same. Why have I got three versions of the same? But one's an Edge, one's a Candidate, and one's a Stable. They're all...
so those would be like release levels.
So these are
for
this
the
is
Snap
like
itself.
So this is like the. I don't know,
so you can get like the stable version or a development version, beta, whatever.
So if I downloaded one of these, most likely I'm going to see bugs.
No, not necessarily. I mean, if they have the same version and all the different releases, then it'll be the same. But like, if you want to track like the beta versions, right? Then you'll be on the beta channel, kind of like how Chrome works, right? Like you download Chrome beta, you always get the beta of it.
Yeah.
Same idea. You're on like the release channel beta, so you'll always have that level of release rather than stable or Edge or release candidate or something like that.
Oh, okay. Stick with stable for that one. Let's stick. Yeah, so again, you can tell where in the Snap Store it's come from. That's fast. Hey Bill, how are you? Just seen him pop up.
William,
yep. You can come and join us in chat, you know. We are there. Just come bid or live stream.
I think he's in here.
Are you hiding, Bill?
I'm not hiding.
Ah, there you are. How are you today? You good?
Yeah, just happy that this release is all done.
So am I. Tell me about it. I think the guys are partying right now.
think most of them are just sleeping at home.
Yeah, probably.
There's
How'd you do, Bill?
The only thing we had to do today was there was a respin, just for a couple things last night, but everything else for us was pretty good.
What happened last night? Was there an issue with NVIDIA driver or something?
Yeah, there was just a small NVIDIA driver. It was like 3 packages, so, and it only affected 3 of the flavors, but they respin everything.
Oh, okay.
Was it like an update or?
Yeah, there was some kind of little NVIDIA mishap, so.
Oh, okay.
And then it's funny the guys are doing Xubuntu, and I don't know if you saw Ubuntu Studio just announced that they're going to Plasma for their next release.
They're not, are they?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Wow.
that's a change.
That is a huge change.
I guess they wanted to keep XFCE for the LTS.
Yeah, I mean, it
But
makes
then,
sense.
like, then they're stretched thin, right? Like, then you have to have some people maintaining the LTS, and
I mean, it makes sense though, because a lot of .10 releases are, your big shots in the dark. Because that's what that's what Ubuntu did. They did the LTS and then went with 1810 and did the big LXQT change. So
yeah, this is their first LTS with LXQt, huh?
yeah, it actually looks really nice.
Have I found my first bug? I can't get Audacity.
You might have.
I can't get Audacity installed. Unable to install Audacity, cannot perform the following tasks. So I can't see what error is below that. If I try their Edge. No. What's going on? Did I come out of the store and go in again? I bet I can install it through a terminal. Prerequisites. What's it missing? GTK2 theme. Snap not found. That's the error I should have seen. Strange. I'm making a note of that one for the devs.
That'd probably be more of a Snapcraft thing, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to think. It's got to be a snap thing, yeah. That one's noted. This is why we do these live tests. So, Adam says I can just start typing. Okay. Give me something. Give me something. What would I normally install? Give me something.
Discord?
Of course. Yeah, there's a problem with Audacity. Look at the speed of this though. Sorry guys, I just realised you're probably on a 30-second delay, aren't you?
Yeah, it's all good. It's not quite 30 seconds, but there's a delay. Rocco.
Hey Rocco. Did you get your alert this time? You know what I mean, Adam, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, YouTube is the most horrible thing with letting us know if there's a live stream or not. It's like You live streamed 30 minutes ago. What?
Yeah. I had that the other night. I saw that. Where was it? Was it Chris Titus went live, and I'd seen the email alert, and I went there, and he's already finished his stream. But yeah, YouTube told me he was still live. Ah. Go get your coffee and come join us, Rocco. You're welcome.
Dude, I would love a warm drink right about now.
Go, I'm not holding you.
I don't think I have anything. Other than, you know, hot water. Man, when I was in the military, I swear, they have these, like, thing they call water buffaloes. They're, like, really huge water tanks that they pull behind vehicles.
Yeah.
And I swear, every time they're like, let's find the hottest spot to park this thing. And just, like they were, where there's no shade. And just, that water was just, like...
Ugh.
Like, it just came out the water heater or something. Just, like... But you're like, you know what? I've been running around, I'm sweating, I'm really, you know, I need something to hydrate. I don't care if it's hot.
What the hell just happened there? Oh, okay. Close Discord and it fires up my browser. Why is Telegram not my first app in this list? Weird. Well, the snaps are installing okay. I've always liked Xubuntu. I don't know why. I really don't. I mean, just running Endeavour XFCE alongside Xubuntu. I don't know why I'm still being drawn towards Ubuntu. Because really, they're, apart from the theming, they're both alike. Oh, so Snap Install Audacity worked for you, did it, John? Weird. Maybe it's to do with the mirror that I'm looking at. I haven't actually checked the software and updates. I'm just going to try and see if they've got their release notes on the site. So Brian, if you're still watching on the stream here, in the release notes, they do actually give you some help and advice on how to migrate from Windows. So this is more of a help card. Yeah. Am I going blind? Can I not see a link for the release notes anywhere? Not from this one here.
Yeah, Robin, if you go down to the bottom under support, you're seeing it delayed.
Yeah, I think I might have hit the link that you found. I've come to a page that says release notes, so I'm guessing I'm here. Yeah, now I did notice this bug. Ooh, new wallpapers. We'll have a look at those in a minute. Greybird Dark, well, that's the mode I'm in now. Yep. Gedit is now installed as Debian Snap and Flatpak. Got Flatpak themes, yeah. Python 2. So apt offline is no longer included in this release until February, depending on Python 2. I was seeing a lot of Python errors in Arch the other week. So the updates, so we've got now GTK update to 3.36, Mate 124, XFC 414, Greybird, Lumni, Elementary, yep, that's natural.
Did Rocco disappear? Yes, he did.
Is he still in the chat?
I don't know, he hasn't said anything for a little bit.
Just got home from work. That was his last message. Oh, well, Brian, sorry, I've just seen your note about torrents. You don't need to download it via a torrent. You can actually download it as a direct download if you like, but obviously you know how torrents work. With torrents, sometimes it can be faster for some people because obviously they're getting it from a share of a share of a share of a share. You're sharing chunks of data to obviously build out the file. I only ever use torrents in extreme circumstances where I'm downloading an ISO and it is taking forever. But generally I steer clear of torrents. So let's see, what have they done with the desktop? So they've just taken some requirements out. System load plugin, is that new or is that a feature of 414XFCE? That must be in there then. So if I do panel, add, let's take a look. System load monitor. Don't think I've ever seen this. Oh, they've just renamed it. It's the same plugin I've used previous. Okay. Alright, while I've got this up, let's get the show desktop up. And the weather. Love my weather. Done. Change the order. Gosh, as we edge closer to summer, it's still chilly. Yuck.
Yeah, I mean it's almost May and it's like
we
51 degrees Fahrenheit here.
We should be in the mid-20s by now. I mean, I should be seeing nighttime temperatures not this chilly. I should be seeing them in about 14s or 15s. Yeek. Get some more of those later. Let's do some theming. Yeah, I said to the guys earlier in the stream I'd make the desktop changes. What's our default file manager here now? Una, okay. Just create myself a folder. .themes. .icons. This website just gets slower and slower every time I come here. No worries, Rocco. You have your dinner, mate. Where are we? Now, normally I do a Control H to show hidden files. I'm just trying to see if there's a button somewhere where you can do that. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. No, it's going to have to be a Control H. Right, these are icons that I'm extracting now. Extract it into my newly created icons folder. How many icons? That's a lot. Right, so if I go into Appearance, Icons, Mojave Night Mode. Nice.
Well, Robin, I am going to go ahead and head out. I gotta cook some dinner.
You're more than welcome.
So,
Thanks for joining us.
yeah, definitely, man. Good luck on the rest of the stream,
Thank you.
and I'll catch you guys later.
I'll talk to you later. Cheers, Adam. So basically what I'm downloading now is zip files with all of my icons and my theming attached. This is a theme I'm downloading now to make this desktop look like a Mac. Just check that's downloaded. It has. There it is. And I'll just extract that to the themes folder. There we are. Now if I go into Window Manager, I'll just select Mojave Dark. Look at that. So that now is my desktop looking how it was before I started the install. One last thing for me to do now is to download and install Plank. Now Plank is a dock that looks very similar to the Mac dock. Sudo apt install Plank. And this is going to download a package of just under a megabyte. Oops. Try that again. Sorry, press the wrong key. Hey Eric, how are you? You can join the voice chat if you like. We're in Big Daddy live stream. Okay, so that's our Plank installed. Load that up. Hang on. Just a tiny bit of radio silence while my daughters are getting ready for bed. Sweet, looking good. I think I am done. Just now going to have a check to see what apps we've got pre-installed. So under Office, LibreOffice is installed. Let's see what version we're running. .6.4, 0.2.2, which I believe is their stable install. I'm just going to give it an update. Wait a minute, I've just realised what I've done wrong. I haven't installed a package manager. Now once this is installed, we should be able to click on that deb file and it will install through gdebi. just in your question there, Eric. Yeah, I'm just giving this a dry run as if I was actually installing and using my PC. So yeah, you're right. I had some issues a lot earlier on, a couple of hours ago, to try and get this installed through the ISO I had. Then realised that a fresh ISO got pushed. So I've reinstalled that ISO, so now I'm reinstalling everything back again. Ah, we're stuck again. No worries, Eric. That's fine. And there we go. GDebi is now installed. I'll just check that. Yep, that's installed okay. And let's give this a try. So now if I click on this file here, I should be able to install from GDebi. Now normally I'd build this using a terminal, but I'm just going to demonstrate using GDebi to install the latest version of LibreOffice. My guess here is that I have an empty deb file. Let's try extracting that again. Ah, see, now we have a folder. Right, there they are. So I've forgotten what the command was, so I'm just going to grab that from this readme file. There we go, that's the command I need. So I just highlight this line and right click and copy that. And what I'm going to now do is come back to this folder here, debs, right click, and see if we can open that. Open terminal here. Sweet, that's installing 6.4.3.22 now. So once this is done, we're just going to wrap it up, as that's pretty much it from my tests here tonight. So I'm going to leave this installed for a few days and give it a trial as a daily driver. And that's installed. So now just check from the start. Office, and yep, there we go. So if I click into calc, let's just take a quick look at what version we're running now. 6.4.3.2, so we've updated. Now I just need to get rid of the previous install, which I will do offline. But that's me done, as if I was going to use this as my daily driver now. That just now leaves me to say thank you for joining us here tonight. We've had a few troubles getting this up and running, but we're okay now. Yeah, so we'll just leave that to run for a bit now, and we'll see how we go. All it leaves me to say now is have fun downloading and running either Xubuntu or any other of the Ubuntu flavors. If you want, I'm available to answer any questions if you have that. Just email me via my website at digitalrobin.net, or you can find me on Twitter, in the, of course, the Big Daddy Linux community discourse. There you can find me there, Telegram, and you find me, no worries at all. All that leaves me to say is to give Xubuntu a major thumbs up, and one of the badges from yours truly here that I cut yesterday, so give it a complete thumbs up there. Happy playing with the Ubuntu flavors. Thank you very much for joining us here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us. You'll get those notifications if you hit the bell when we next go live. Apologies for the length of tonight's stream, but obviously that's not entirely been my fault. That's been down to a bad ISO to begin with, but we got there in the end. So thanks for joining us, and I wish you a good day, what's left of it, and I will catch you in the Big Daddy Linux community this weekend. Have a great week. Bye.